What is up, y'all? If you are new to the channel, I just want to say welcome. Hope you stick around and check out some of the other videos. But if you're a returning subscriber, may I remind you, you are a Pam. That's right, a Pam Beasley. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that red button below so that way I can formally say to you, welcome to the channel. In this video today, we're going to talk about how Melody and I survived the coronavirus.
COVID-19.
COVID sucks. Last week we released our 250 subscriber milestone video and I said this. Oh my gosh. Spoiler alert, we had the coronavirus. So for the people who've been wondering or asking about it, we thought it'd be time to actually talk about our story, having the coronavirus and, thank God, recovering from the coronavirus. What we're going to do is answer a few questions today, mostly that are commonly asked questions to people who got COVID-19, who got the coronavirus. And what we want to do is cover those questions, answer them as best as possible, and then just let you know our story, kind of what happened to us, and we're doing good, so we'll kind of go from there. We understand that this is a serious topic, and we want to keep it serious, but at the same time, we want to be as lighthearted as possible too, because we don't want what is attached to thinking that word coronavirus and COVID-19 to only be fear, worry, and stress. We want it to also be most people do recover. Like, that should be a good thing that we talk about too. So we're gonna try and make this humorous so that you guys are also enjoying while learning about two people who actually got the coronavirus. When did we get it?
I started feeling symptomatic on a Wednesday night, June 10th. And then I started feeling it the next night. Yeah. You don't think to socially distance from people you love. And so
yes sir, yes sir.
Like surface every thing. You share a bathroom, a bed, a closet, everything. So that's when we got it.
Where did we get it?
We were living in Arizona and we just recently moved back to Colorado, but when we were living in Arizona, basically June 10th, June 11th timeframe, that's when Arizona became the epicenter.
It's going freaking bonkers in Arizona.
Especially Phoenix, like where we were living, literally in Phoenix, Arizona, became like the hot spot. We knew a lot of other people that got it right around the same time as us, and we'd seen them like that week, and they tested positive that week, then we did. We think we probably got it from church. But we'd been to the store, I'd been to work. I mean,
as a nurse.
No one else from my floor got it though, so that's what makes me think I didn't get it from the hospital.
We will never know. What kind of symptoms did we have? So I got a fever at first. It spiked pretty quick. Chills that same night, and it was terrible. Then when I went to bed that night, I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I was so sweaty. I mean, I felt like I woke up in a pool of sweat. Muscle aches, very fatigued and tired.
I also got a fever like the next night after him. It was there about 2 days, went away, then it came back. I got it on Thursday, comes back Monday hard that night. That was the worst day for me. So I thought the fever stages were done. Like a lot of people I've heard say, like, you think it's coming to an end and then it hits again. That happened to me. Didn't happen to him, happened to me.
Thank God.
My worst day was 4 to 5 days in. I felt super nauseous, threw up multiple times.
She was like,
and we also had this weird shooting sensation, like from our nose up to our forehead, like our sinus right here. It was the weirdest thing. Like it was just the shooting sensation. We completely lost our taste and smell.
Yeah, that was
devastating.
It was not that bad.
To me.
To Melody, it was the worst thing in the world. Okay, so picture this. I'm sitting on the couch just watching videos because we're just chilling out in our apartment. And I just hear, like in the background, in order to get your smell back, you're going to need to do what is called smell training. And Melody watching like instructional videos on how to get her smell and taste back. And it wasn't just like 5 minutes went by. I'm like watching videos, 2 hours go by. And then I get up and I turn around and she's over at the table with like all these like different candles and all these different things. And I look at her and it's like, and this is not an exaggeration, it's like, I can't smell anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Like, it was a big deal for her to lose her taste and smell. I had a couple friends that she wanted me to reach out to that we know had the coronavirus to see how long they potentially lost their taste and smell. And they did respond that they did lose their taste and smell. But then they told me that they lost it for like 2.5 months. And I just neglected to say something to Melody on purpose, because as there she was, my beautiful wife looking me in the eyes with tears in her eyes saying, I can't smell anything. There was no way I was gonna let her know. Yeah, so our friends, yeah, they couldn't smell anything for 2.5 months, but we're gonna be okay. Like she would have been
The losing taste and smell, I was so worried it wouldn't come back. Luckily for us, it was gone for about 7 to 9 days. I also had
that was a long one.
I also had a really dry mouth.
You probably just didn't drink enough water.
No, I was drinking so much, but nothing was quenching my thirst.
You should have had some Gatorade. Gatorade! When did we get tested? So we got tested on Saturday, June 13th, just a few days after we started feeling symptomatic. Melody ended up finding a local CVS pharmacy that did a drive-up self-administering test.
Obviously, if you're really concerned, you can go to an ER,
Yeah.
but you're gonna pay out of pocket. And some urgent cares might also have you pay out of pocket. It just depends. I looked around everywhere. For the CVS, you had a schedule,
Yeah.
and they only were scheduling 2 to 3 days out. And so the soonest we could get, Saturday was the soonest we could get. There were none available that Thursday or Friday.
And we drove up and we did the self-administering test. And Melody, who is a nurse and has administered COVID tests to patients in the hospital, to this day, we don't know a single person who got the test that we got. Like nobody.
Basically, most of the tests that everyone's talking about, that everyone's getting, other than the antibody blood one, it goes straight into your nose. Like,
Far.
we make a joke as nurses, it tickles the brain. Like, it basically goes all the way back and it hurts. So I'm warning Josiah, I'm like, this is gonna go in far, it's not gonna be fun. I think we have to do it ourselves from what I read online. We get there and there's a lady at the window, gives us our test. She's like, walking us through it from the window because we have to do it ourselves. And she says, like, hold the Q-tip looking thing, like, from here, and there's still that much stick. Like, usually my finger's down there. She says, like, go in just to here. And so our test literally went in each nostril just to here, did not go any further back.
Like, we started to put it in and I'm like, that's it? And she's like, yep. And
I was
Melody's so
worried.
shocked.
Like,
because
I
she's
was like, this isn't gonna be accurate. I've given these tests, like,
Right.
what? So we both got our test results and they were positive, so it does work. So I don't know why that one's not used more, because
It's not
it
as
was
painful.
way better, like, tolerable. It literally only went to here.
Yeah. We
Plus-
were told that we were going to get our test results in 7 to 9 days,
Yeah.
but we got it back in 2 days, which was
Yeah.
nice. But that's
Which-
because there were so many cases in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona was exploding.
Literally exploded. How long did it last? That made you happy. For me, it lasted about 5 to 6 days. And at about day 6, I was at 95%. I wouldn't say I was at 100% feeling back to normal, but at 6 days in, I was like, I can move around just fine. Wow, that's crazy. So in the time that I had coronavirus, I shot partially or fully 4 different sketches, and it was worth it. Shout out to the Pams.
For me, it lasted about 8 to 9 days where the symptoms were pretty strong. But then the fevers lasted like what?
6, 7 days. Maybe not
Like,
that long.
yeah,
5, 6.
but with a break in between. And then when I finally felt completely like my energy's back, I feel back to normal, it was 2 weeks.
What did we do to recover? Prayed, rested, fluids.
Tylenol, that always helped me with my fevers. Sweeps tonic water, little picture.
Little
Sweeps.
Little picture.
The Sweeps tonic water contain quinine. I probably should know how
Quinine?
to say that, but I don't.
It's
But
so
that, they had tested like some tests that it might have been effective against helping with corona. I guess it helps with malaria. Oh my gosh.
That was a squirrel.
Sorry, I thought it was just.
He wanted to be the video.
Okay, vitamins. We took lots of zinc, multivitamins, emergency, vitamin D, because that's known to supposedly you need more of that when you have COVID.
What was the worst part? Number one, the fatigue was terrible. And then one of the hardest things was, I mentioned before, there's a video on my page about it, my time as a youth pastor. I had just finished up being youth pastor at a church, and we had a ton of people that we were gonna say goodbye to, even after our kind of goodbye party, have coffee with, dinners with, just meet up to say goodbye. And because we got the coronavirus, we didn't want to risk obviously infecting anybody. So we didn't get to say goodbye in person to a lot of people, and that was really sad. Like, we saying goodbye not just because we left the church, but because shortly after that, we left to come here to Colorado Springs. So
Yeah.
it made it a little bit harder because it wasn't just, oh, a couple weeks we won't be able to see you. It was like, no, in those couple of weeks that we got the coronavirus, we're going to be leaving and going out of state. So
obviously, if you can tell already, one of the worst parts for me was losing my taste and smell because that was like a shock.
worst.
I also am not a homebody, so I did not leave the house for other than to get tested for 2 weeks straight, and so that I've never done that.
what was the best part? A few things for me. We got a lot of time together. Got a lot of video editing done, whether partially or fully, 4 different projects, which I really loved. It was for the Pam, so it was worth it. And I also loved ginger ale. I fell in love with ginger ale while I had coronavirus. So
For me, like you said, all our time together, lots of movie nights, lots of hanging out.
lots of even Stevens.
Yes, best show. And I still got paid, so that was
Yes.
super nice.
She got COVID
that
pay.
I still was getting paid, even
Praise
though
God.
I was suffering at home.
What advice would we give for people who get the coronavirus or who just want to know more?
Stay home.
Connect with others through social media, phone, text, whatever.
Read a book.
Write a letter.
Pray.
Rest, plenty of fluids, and just diet. That's just life in general. Take necessary precaution, seriously, especially if you have underlying health conditions and stuff, but don't let worry, fear, and stress and anxiety drive you towards like the worst case scenario. That won't help. This would be a good time to write out things that you're thankful for, things that you're grateful for, and that alone can bring you some joy, some excitement, and just gratitude in general, which that in and of itself can be a cure. Watch some comedy sketches. I got some you can watch on my channel. But give yourself a laugh. Seriously, do anything to think more positively, because thinking negatively in worst case scenario isn't going to help the situation.
And what helped us is since we both had it, we could still hug, and I know hugs really helped in those times. So if you're with it, in it with someone else, hug.
Thank you so much for taking time to watch today's video. We got so much stuff coming up here in the near future in different videos, sketches, whatever. We're just glad you watched today. Hit that subscribe button below so you could be an official Pam, and we will see you on the court. Hey! Okay. Oh my gosh. Dominican chicken noodle soup.
Taste it, actually.
So I can
Take it. Give me that soup.